Anne is the inventor and manufacturer of Millie and the sole distributor. Millie has an Australian patent and an international patent pending. Anne and I have been best friends for almost 30 years so far, so I'm helping her with this video. Step number 1. Measure your quilt and configure the frame to suit your quilt. For a larger quilt, you can pin your backing fabric directly to the frame, or for a smaller quilt, the size of the window can be reduced further using additional fabric pinning panels. These panels are included in the basic frame kit. The window needs to be a bit bigger than your quilt top and a bit smaller than your backing fabric. Step 2. Anne starts assembling the quilt sandwich by attaching the backing fabric to the pinning panels with the right side facing away from her. The backing is pinned to the fabric pinning panels around the periphery using pins spaced 10 centimetres or 4 inches apart. Curved quilting safety pins are recommended but not supplied with the frame kit. The backing needs to be taut but not tight enough to distort the fabric weave. Anne will show the use of additional clamps to fine-tune tensioning. Clamps are not always necessary. These clamps are not supplied with the frame kit, but should be available for purchase at a local hardware shop. Step number 3. Anne attaches the batting to the backing fabric. It is best if you can see the backing fabric around the perimeter of the batting. Attach with pins spaced 10 centimetres or 4 inches apart at the top and 2 sides. Leave the lower edge free of pins to allow for movement during the pinning process. Do not place any pins in the centre. Smooth out any noticeable wrinkles by brushing your hands over the surface. Anne now attaches the quilt top right side facing her to the quilt sandwich. The quilt top is attached in the same way as the other layers. Once again, it is best to clearly see the batting and backing around the periphery of the quilt top. Once you are happy with the tension exerted by the pins around the 3 sides, you can proceed to pin the quilt completely. Starting at the top and working down, pin through all 3 layers horizontally and vertically with 10 centimetres or 4 inches between pins.
You can even get a friend to help you to pin.
For pinning the lower section of the quilt, Anne sits on a chair to minimise. The quilt frame assembles quickly, takes up minimal floor space, can easily be lifted and moved around. It fits through doorways and can be placed in a hallway. Both sides of the frame can be used for quilt assembly, so you can have 2 quilts being pinned at the same time. This is using flannelette fabric or a flannelette sheet pinned to the frame. The frame can also be used as a display wall, and for storage folds down to the size of the 2 end rectangles and the horizontal bars. Now you can see the nice close pinning. Notice the small pins and the absence of any wrinkles. The pinning from the front has gone all the way through to the back. The only pins actually through the pinning panel are those fastening the backing cloth to the pinning panel. Anne is now removing the outer layer of pins, so she can then remove the quilt sandwich from the quilting frame. The quilt is now fully pinned and Anne is about to take it off the frame and take it away to hand quilt. Here it is, all finished, all done in less than an hour. No wrinkles, no lumps and bumps, and ready for quilting. All done with Mulberry Millie.